Evening, everyone, and welcome to the Football Takeover. G Talks Arsenal, your host for obviously what is a really, really good show. And this has nothing to do with the fact that I'm joking. It has everything to do with the fact that Manchester City have just dropped points, to obviously Spurs. Cheers Spurs, whatever. Did your thing. Welcome to the show, Football Takeover for the Arsenal versus Leeds reaction. Obviously, a convincing win for the Arsenal, which we're going to chop up and get into in a short while. But before we get onto that, just want to big up Bobby in the background, as ever. The myth, the man, the legend, doing what he does, supporting us here, even though he's not with us on the screen. But also, I'd like to welcome, for the first time, I've kind of put a face to the name, but those of you in the Discord will know Echoes of Highbury very, very well. And those of you who have seen him on our screens need no introductions. But how are you, Echoes of Highbury? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I don't think I could be feeling any better right now, actually. I got nothing to do with the Spurs result either. Life's good right now.
Good. Life's good. That's what we like to hear. And yes, my brother from another mother, Ali. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, all is well. Just busy with family stuff. My sister-in-law's birthday, so I'm still here. And then we'll be traveling home after this beautiful live.
Excellent. Sounds good. We will be joined a little bit later in the show, maybe 10, 20 minutes into the show by Neil as well. He's just kind of caught up with some daddy duties at the moment, so bear with him. He will be with us shortly. But yeah, look, we're going to go straight into it. Before we start looking, talking lineups and stuff like that, I think inevitably we're going to have to touch upon obviously the game that's just taken place. We're going to, because we're in a title race. City are our closest rivals, and most of us kind of envisioned, hoped, wished that they would drop points over the next couple of games. Obviously, back-to-back away fixtures, I believe, against obviously Spurs and Liverpool. So before we actually get into the Arsenal game, I think it's only fitting that we talk about the Spurs City game. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I was following the score. I saw that City went 2-0 up, and I just thought, it's done, in it. Like, the lead's going to go back down to 3 points. But I'll come to you first, Ali. What did you make of the result? I don't know if you watched the game. Just give me your thoughts of obviously, post game 2-2 draw, dropped points, which sees us kind of extend our lead to 6 points, and not the four that most of us probably thought we would have come the final whistle of that game.
Yeah, I think obviously I think it was Conor Gallagher's debut, if I'm not mistaken, or he played a half of football. I don't know, Echoes, but yeah, going into the fixture, I thought a draw would be the best that Spurs could get. When City went 1-0 up, I was like, it is what it is. This is not the game week that I was focused on anyway. And out of nowhere, Manchester City throw away a 2-goal lead. So it'll be very interesting to see what the narrative is in the mainstream media with regards to them doing that. Because whenever Arsenal drop a point, when it's at 0-0 or whatever, it's the end of the world. So let's see what happens when Sky and all these various platforms, how they present them slipping in the title race and showing some mental fragility in this race. Because if that was Arsenal, we'll be getting roasted as
Absolutely.
we speak. Let's see what they say post-match. But yeah, for me, in just quickly summing that up, I'm cool with that. I'm calm with that. I've been saying it all along. The next 5 fixtures are going to decide this title. We are 2 fixtures into those 5 fixtures. We lost to United, which I'm extremely disappointed with, which we all are, I'm sure. We dealt with Leeds, and I'm sure we'll come onto that. And some of our analysis before the game came true in that game, and we got our rewards from that. And Mikel actually done a few changes for the better. And then next week for me, this next week, I said it in the group chat, Tuesday, Chelsea Carabao Cup semi-final.
Huge game.
Must-win game. I don't care about the first leg. We need to win our game at home. That's how I'm looking at this game. So I need a convincing win in that game, which is on Tuesday, by the way. And then that gives us an extra day's rest to prepare for Sunderland. So this is the biggest week of Arsenal's season. 1, to get to a final, and number 2, to beat Sunderland on the Saturday and then to put pressure on Liverpool, Man City, Anfield. Another draw would do nicely, no problem. But if Liverpool go and win that game, fantastic. And if they can get something off City, great. And just quickly to touch on Aston Villa, Brentford, I go to G-Tech every other week or whenever they're at home. Thank you very much for doing us another little favour there. And hopefully we'll see you next a week on Thursday and allow us to get 3 points at the G-Tech and we're cruising.
Absolutely. I'll come to you, Echoes of Highbury. I mean, how invested were you, obviously, in this Spurs City game? And how are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? Obviously, the game's over. And obviously, City have gone on to drop some points.
So I was getting my hair cut when the game started, but I had my phone in one hand and he was chopping my hair in the other. On the way home, I'm invested in all the City games. I know everyone tells me, "Why are you so invested?" Like we've got to do what we have to do, but at the end of the day, to win the league, you've got to beat your rivals, and if they drop points, that puts us in a better position. Spurs were terrible though the first half. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't pull passes together. They had no hunger. Like they were playing to lose the game, and I don't know what happened at halftime. They probably clocked that they were in a relegation battle at halftime, and they came out a whole different team. They were probably the better team in the second half. They could have gone on and won the game. But I don't understand how you can go from being that poor in the first half to then switching on and making something happen. The atmosphere is dreadful. You can hear boos so the first goal when Gay scored their own goal, there's a VAR check, and usually after the referee points to the center circle, you can hear the crowd like celebrating the goal. There's absolutely zero reaction from the Spurs fan. I've heard that some of them are chanting up the Blues and all of that. So embarrassing set of fans to say the least, but Thomas Frank is a silver member for a reason, so
That's it. Wicked. Well, on that note, thank you obviously for your thoughts. I'm going to bring in Neil. I think he's done this obviously just to confuse me. So it is actually Neil on the live and not Nick. But you know what? I'm going to be fully focused tonight. I'm not going to make no name mistakes, so it's all good. How are you doing this evening, Neil?
Boys, how are we doing? All right, everyone?
We're good.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, man. And you, buddy? Yeah, man. Good weekend, wasn't it? All in all?
Yeah, no, it was good. Obviously, I've just spoken to Ali and Echoes of Highbury with regards, obviously, the City game. I mean, how invested were you in the game? And obviously, how you feeling? Like, you know, post 90 minutes, they've gone on to, you know, throw away a 2-goal lead, drop points in the title race. Happy, obviously.
I mean, yeah, it was a difficult one, wasn't it? Because I'd like nothing more than seeing those guys get relegated. You know, to be honest with you. But at the same time, you know, they've done us a favour. Now, you know, as a lot of people have said, thanks for the favour. Now go and get relegated. If I'm honest. Look, I think City are vulnerable. They're not the City of old. I don't think I actually don't think they have the belief this season, if I'm honest with you. I think they are feeling, particularly after us going away and winning at a very, very difficult stadium. I think they're feeling the pressure. If I'm honest with you, because let's face it, you know, in that first half, City should have absolutely demolished them. I mean, Spurs were woeful. They were absolutely woeful. I mean, literally playing like a championship side, if not worse. And City of old would have just dispatched them in the first half. But they didn't. So I think City, I think there's a problem with City. I don't think everything is as harmonious as it seems. So yeah, from my point of view, yeah, I was invested as well, as much as I could be with all the children. But yeah, is what it is.
Excellent. So we're going to obviously head straight into obviously why we're here, which is obviously Arsenal 4, Leeds 0, the reaction show. First of all, just want to big up everybody in the comments, keep them coming. And obviously just want to give a big shout out to everybody who's watching. If for whatever reason you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do head over to the YouTube and subscribe to the channel. We've hit the milestone of 300 subscribers. We want to hit 500 in no time, and we're only going to be able to do that with your help and support. So big up everybody who's watching and commenting. So I'm going to bring up obviously the first slide for obviously tonight's show. Now that's the starting lineup. We're not going to focus too much on obviously the home team because we're Arsenal fans. We're an Arsenal channel primarily. So the lineup was Raya in goal. We had a back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Hincapié. We had a midfield three of Zubi, Rice, Havertz. Which a lot of people were calling for, the introduction of Havertz, obviously having seen him in the Champions League midweek. And then we had an unexpected front three. I say that just because obviously Saka pulled up with an injury in the pre-warm-up to the game. So we had a front three of Madueke who come in for Saka, and then Trossard on the left and Gyökeres through the middle. So I'll come to you first, Ali. Obviously, what did you make of the starting 11 around 2 p.m. on Saturday when it was released?
Yeah, I was extremely pleased to see Havertz in the side. Everybody else pretty much picks itself. Obviously, if Saka is injured or needs a rest, Madueke is the next man in line. So I was very, very, very happy to see this lineup. Havertz is the key to our success. It's as simple as that. I'm extremely, extremely pleased that Mikel Arteta took that decision. Because it's got to a point now in the season where if I'm Mikel Arteta and I've given, just say I'm Arteta, right? And I've given Martin Odegaard this, well, I know he's been injured in and out the side, but I've given him the opportunity to play himself back into form. It's still not working. His GA is down. He's physically now even weak in the challenges. Everything's going wrong for him. If he had picked Havertz over, if he had picked Odegaard over Havertz in this game, you're looking to get sacked because you're not going to win. You're not going to win anything with Martin Odegaard there at this present moment in time. Is Martin Odegaard a very good footballer? Yes, he is. Is he out of form? Badly. Yes, he is. So as a manager, you've taken the decision and it's the right decision, one, for your own career. So forget about the fans. Forget about your players. It's about me now as Arteta. Do I want to keep this Arsenal job or not? So I need to stop picking players that I've trusted over the years to get me into the Champions League, to get me into second place 3 years in a row, and actually be like, you know what? If I need to win this league, I'm going to have to make this change. And what I saw in the Champions League game, yes, it was Kyriak, but I want to see more of it. And guess what happens? We're 2-0 up at half-time. Havertz does his job. We said it on the show on Friday night. Put him on. I want to see him for 60 minutes. We'll get the job done. And we did.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, coming to you, Echoes of Highbury, what did you make of, before we get into the nitty gritty of obviously the goal scorers, the assists, individual performances, what did you make of like the first kind of opening 15 to 20 minutes of the match, how the game started?
I'll be honest with you, when you're at the game itself, you tend to lose yourself into the atmosphere, into you dig yourself into more of the atmosphere. You get sucked in by the occasion. So the game to me just flashed by the 90 minutes just flashed by completely. But in the first 15 minutes, what I noticed is that Havertz being on the field was a difference, not as a singular player, but what it meant is that there was going to be a tweak in the system. And that's what I was happy about. We played Rice a bit deeper. We let Zubimendi roam around. We played more vertical. And what Havertz does is he allows you to win those duels and those second balls, which at the end of the day, you can pin your team back when you're able to do that. So I saw more fluid passing, more movement, and more of a hunger to go out and score early and put your foot down and dominate the game. And we got that first goal. We got the second goal. And once that happened, I think you calm the crowd down too. I've been hearing a lot about Ellen Road, and I think we kept them really quiet there. There was a period of maybe 15 minutes when that crowd was outstanding, but apart from that, the away fans were pretty much louder than the home fans throughout the game. So I think we just stomped their dominance from minute 0.
Nice. I'll come to you, obviously, Neil. Now, wasn't massively ideal, tracking back a little bit. Obviously, most Arsenal fans were pretty happy with the lineup. Obviously, during the pre-match warm-up, Saka gets injured. Madueke comes in. You see the narratives online. You see it in the Discord. No disrespect. You see it on the timeline. Not great news. Obviously, Saka star boy, not firing on all cylinders, but the hope is that he's going to get to that stage again. So this injury is by no means ideal. However, Madueke comes in. What did you make of Madueke's performance against Leeds in general?
Look, I think it must be hard, man. Coming off the bench constantly when you do get on, playing Champions League games, but not getting a hell of a lot of time. Let's face it, and we didn't think he was going to, in all fairness, above Saka. We know that, but I think I really like the directness of him, right? And I'm going to be positive about this. Do I think he's at a level? He still is not the summer signing I would have made, even as a backup. I think there were better players out there, but I think for the dude to come on, he hasn't played a lot of minutes, a huge amount of minutes this season. For him to come on and be as direct as he is, I think he did well. Look, the end product's still a bit of a thing for me, but that ball he whips in for Zubimendi was a phenomenal ball in. And Zubi, by the way, scoring headers like he's not even that big, mate. Do you know what I mean? He's scoring headers for fun, it seems, and winning headers as well. Like I'm not going to go on to Zubimendi, but I mean, winning headers in defense and midfield. That you sit there and you think, what are you doing? How are you winning these headers? But so for me, I think Madueke had a good game. I think if he starts to get more minutes, if Saka's out for a little while. I mean, I've just read one of the comments, but Bobby's comment. But look, I rate him. I do rate him as a player, and I think he causes nightmares for defenders because he's so direct, and he puts them. He puts them on the back foot, which is what you want. You want your forwards to put your defenders on the back foot from the first part of the game. So from my point of view, I think Madueke did all right. I think coming in, he's not my ideal replacement for Saka, but I think he does a pretty good job.
Yeah, and I think it was really good. It was really nice because obviously, like every Arsenal fan, I was looking at the whole Saka scenario thinking, oh God, here we go. We never have a full strength 11. It feels like we've never had a full strength 11 this entire season for one reason or another. So him coming in, I actually saw, I can't remember what account it was, one of the big accounts, and actually posted Madueke goal and assist. And obviously we saw from the VAR that the goal was eventually given to him. So technically he got a goal and he got an assist. I was really happy with Madueke. Even though his end product is not as good as we want it to be. And even though I wasn't thrilled that we signed him in the summer, I've actually been quite impressed with him, if I have to be completely honest.
But is that due to lack of game time, possibly?
100%. For me personally, we were never going to sign a player that was going to come in and remove Saka. That wasn't the point of the player coming in. We were always going to, if we were going to sign a right winger, it was always going to be a right winger that could come off the bench, play the cup games, play some of the Champions League games once we've qualified, come in 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes rotation when injured, but an impact player. And the thing about Madueke is like, if he could just get that end product sorted, for me, he's a really, really good impact player. Like he comes on and he does create absolute chaos. He's a good dribbler. He's quick. He's direct. And if he had the end product Saka had, he'd be a better player. I said it. If he had end product, for me personally, I think he's a more, in terms of personal preference, aesthetically, how a footballer plays, I would put him in the side over Saka every day of the week. But as long as he's in that side and he's not producing assists and he's not producing goals, which is what Saka had previously done season on season in an upward trajectory, then there is no way that Madueke is going to remove him. But I really liked his performance. I really enjoyed his performance. A lot of the performances that he's put in, I've been really pleased with because it's not always resulted in a goal, But what he does is he puts massive, like if I'm a fullback, not that I would love to play against Saka at all, because I wouldn't at all. He's an absolute nightmare. But Madueke would give me genuine nightmares. My only hope as a fullback would be like, okay, he'll twist me around a couple of times and then he'll completely miscue his cross. But other than that, he's got the ability to make fullbacks look absolutely ridiculous. I know, Ali, you wanted to say something, so feel free to say what you're saying. But my next question to you, after you give us your perspective on what I was just saying, was it was really nice after the last game where Zubi made that mistake to obviously see Zubi get on the score sheet. So feel free to say what you wanted to say, but how could you just summarize Zubimendi's goal and obviously Zubimendi's performance also against Leeds?
Yeah, so obviously, again, we said on Friday that we like None until he gets to the edge of the box. And we need CGA. So please go and prove me wrong, I said. And he done it. Beautiful. So now, does that make him elite? Does that make him world class? Is he better than Saka? The answer is no, no, no. So can you please now go do that on Tuesday? And then can you please go and do that against Sunderland on next Saturday? Then we can start having a conversation. Oh, he's getting a bit consistent. So he's always going to have that raw ability. He reminds you of Rafinha, right? Rafinha, when he first came to England, he was all over the place, very direct, very strong, very good at dribbling. End product wasn't great. Then all of a sudden he started to click at Leeds, bang, 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 and then we were in for him, right? So Arteta's always looked for this type of profile from his second season onwards, basically. And now we've got None, like you boys have said. We were all. Another way of looking at it is, what right winger in the world is going to come to Arsenal and start?
Yeah, it's not many, if any.
So we need to bring someone in that. Semenyo, for me, he would start on the left.
Yeah,
I think
he's not going to take Saka's position. So
not when you've got Martinelli.
The reality is, before the season begun, Saka was starting. He was on form. His goal, GA, was amazing for the past 4 or 5 years, and he's our starting guy. So when you're approaching, okay, Neil, I want you to come in, and you're going to be my right winger when Saka's not around. Oh, boss, I want to play though. I said, yeah, but you're going to have to get past Bukayo first. But I'll give you your minutes. It'll be that here, there, and everywhere. But when you get your chance, prove me wrong, and I'll put you in. So, how many elite right wingers were going to take that challenge? The answer is probably none, because they know they're sitting behind Saka regardless of their record in La Liga, in wherever they are. So, getting someone like Noni Madueke, raw, young, from a rival, I was a bit like the Havertz, not too sure about this. But a lot of Chelsea fans did say to me, look, he's a quality player. He just needs a settled system, a settled environment, and he will come good. He's done well in the Champions League. He's off the mark. He's broke his duck when it comes to scoring and assisting in the Premier League in one game. You've got 15 more games, mate. You've got plenty of games, Noni Madueke, to go and get 5-10 GA between now and the end of the Premier League season. So go and do it. Saka's out for a week, 10 days. Go and deliver, my friend. This is what you've come here for. You've spoken to me in the summer saying you want to be a starting right winger. Here's your chance. Go and do it. And when it comes to Zubimendi, absolutely outstanding. I was never worried about Zubimendi. He had a brain fart moment. Guy's quality. Elite again yesterday. His timing is late. The timing into the box when we are on the attack, fantastic. That's why he gets onto these runs and onto the ball to finish. Villa at home yesterday, great header. He's just a very good timer. He knows when to run into the space, when to hold back, when to release the ball quickly, when to switch it long. He's just an amazing football player, and we should be very blessed and very grateful that he picked us over Liverpool and many, many other elite clubs around Europe, like Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and so on and so forth. So one little mistake out of 38 games is not going to change my mind on Zubimendi. The kid's an elite football player, and if we win the Premier League this season, he automatically goes to be becoming world class.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll come to you, Echoes of Highbury, for the next kind of point of conversation, and that is about the big man up top, Gyökeres. Obviously, we saw him get, an absolute peach of goal midweek in the Champions League. Scored an absolute blinder against Inter. Obviously, prior to that, so I was really happy that he was in the starting 11. For me, Gyökeres, he just needs games, he just needs goals, and I just think you will just see his confidence grow. Now, not so much of a spectacular finish, obviously against Leeds, but a real poacher's goal. What did you make of, obviously, Gyökeres? I mean, you was at the game, so what did you make of Gyökeres' goal and just his overall contribution against Leeds in the 4-0 win?
I mean, okay, can you guys hear me first of all? Because I am having noise issues. So I'm just wondering if everything's all
We
good.
can hear you, but it's a little bit crackly. I don't know if you guys can hear the crack.
I hear all of you guys crackling. That's every one of you guys on my end. Yeah.
It might be. You might. I don't know. Ali, thumbs up. Neil, thumbs up. Is it crackly for you? Yeah, you might want to go out and then come back in just to see if the connection's a little bit better, because I'd love to hear what you say, but I think if it stays like that, I don't think anybody will be able to understand you.
Yeah, so let me try going back out and back in, and if it doesn't work, unfortunately, I probably drop out for tonight. I think it's
no problem. Just keep us.
I do want to answer that question of yours.
No problem. Cool. What I'll do then, obviously, while Echoes of Highbury sorts out some of his technical issues, we heard from Ali, obviously, most recently, so I'll come to you, Neil. Same question to you that I put to Echoes of Highbury, really. Good to see Gyökeres in the side. Typical poacher's goal, which is the reason why we bought him. What did you make of his goal? What did you make of his overall contribution?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we've been crying out for, haven't we? We're looking for a number 9, and we got one. I don't get. Look, he frustrates me at times throughout a game. He frustrates me sometimes. But I think he's getting better and better. If I'm honest with you, I think it helps. I think it actually helps his confidence when Ødegaard's not playing. If I'm honest, and I think it just shows again with Martinelli when he came on for the goal, for Gyökeres' goal. It just shows, though, if Saka puts more balls into the box, he's gonna be there. He is gonna score goals. I just don't get this narrative about Gyökeres. There's no way you can go from scoring as many goals as that dude scored in his last couple of seasons to automatically just being like, oh no, the guy doesn't know how to score a goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it does not make sense. So all this nonsense, and you'll notice as well, 90% of it's other fans, and who cares about what noise they say? So from my point of view, I thought he had a good game. I thought he was stronger on the ball as well.
Yes.
I thought he held the ball up, was more physical on the ball, and it just proves, man, like it's really hard because I do like Martin Ødegaard. I think he is an outstanding football player. But without him on the pitch, Gyökeres looks hungrier. Gyökeres looks like he feels he's going to get the ball more. And I think that's important for a striker. I think having the belief in your number 10, to know that he's going to feed you if he can with a perfect ball. The goal he missed, I mean, again, probably a little bit of lack of confidence, but he should have hit that way earlier than he did. But I think the Gyökeres of last season playing in Portugal would have banged that first time. One touch and banged it, and it would have been a goal. But hey, let's give the guy some credit, man. He's not doing that badly. What's it now? 11, 12 goals?
Yeah.
11
goals, 2 assists.
11 goals in all competitions.
I mean, come on, like that's not a bad return, is it? I know we signed the guy to score us 30 odd goals a season, but let's give the guy time. It's his first time playing in the Premier League, and I truly think over the next, I did say, and quite a while ago to Ali actually, I said this guy will still bang 15, 20 goals this season. Yeah. He really will. And I think he will, I'd be interested to hear Echoes because obviously he was at the game. So it's really interesting to hear what the fans think. But from where I sit, the fans support him every single game. Like, I don't think there's a fan that didn't want him to start. We tried Jesus against United, which I think was the wrong decision to go with Jesus, against United. But yeah, I'm positive. But again, when Jesus came on, scored a wonder goal as well. So, look, both of our guys are scoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ali, did you want to say something before I bring echoes of Highbury back in to see if he's technical issue is solved?
For me, I'm just going to follow. I agree with what Neil said. I think this guy Victor Gyökeres, his mentality is fantastic. I think he never gives up. He's got that little bit of swag about him, which I like. I think this lad is very hungry to do well. Sometimes a bit too desperate and hungry to finish off his chances. But we've seen in the past 5-6 games, his GA's gone up in all comps. He's starting to get the ball a lot quicker. We as a team are starting to play to his strengths a little bit more. And in turn, he's now starting to look like he's starting to hold the ball up a little bit better than he was at the beginning of the season. His movement is sharp, and it always has been, but now we're starting to find him. Havertz on the pitch, he didn't do anything amazing yesterday, but he just plays quicker.
Yeah.
So if he moves, everyone else is moving a lot faster. They're not static. They're not standing still.
And it's
can
forward.
Tell us that, because obviously we watch it, we're seeing it on a camera, the 90-minute playback. But there's certain things that you see off camera when you're live at a game. The movements of the players, everyone's moving. Martinelli coming off of the bench in the correct game state. They're chasing the game. He's running down the channels. He gets the ball, cuts back, left foot. Gyökeres scores. That's what we want. We're making the right selections to start with, and we're finishing with the correct team. Odegaard, under pressure, knows he's got to perform. Great bit of skill by Jesus. I'm sure we'll come on to him. But he's the one who punches that ball into Jesus. That was a vertical pass. Where's that been? On the halfway line, Echoes will tell us again. He's got the ball, and he's shifted it out onto the left, down the wing. Not sideways, he's hit it forwards. So you can do it. You've got a bit of pressure for your place, and it should stay like that. I want to see Havertz play against Chelsea. I don't want to see Martin Odegaard start. Probably again this season. The next time I want to see maybe Odegaard start is Wigan at home. That's where you're at right now, Martin. So you're still our club captain. It's all love. We need to win. We need to win trophies, mate. And you're not on form. So let's just sit on the side. You just chill, park yourself, control the game when we're winning 2-3-0. Lovely jubbly. Kai Havertz, do 60, 70 minutes, manage his minutes by using Martin in that position. And we haven't even spoken about Eze at this point. It's crazy. This
Needed
is what
to
Havertz
start
is
above
doing.
Trossard.
Havertz has done a game and a half, and we're not even speaking about Eze in the 10.
That's right, yeah. So big update here. Obviously, thank you, Dylan. So David Ornstein has just posted on X saying Moreno has a broken foot, and followed up obviously by that obviously unfortunate news. We wish him a speedy recovery from all of us here at Football Takeover, because a very important squad player. Also saying here that we are looking at potential loan options. I'm going to come to Ali.
Sorry, before you go to Echoes, just on that point that just came up about the injury, let's not all start crying that Mikel Moreno is now injured. Because before, when he was in the 11, in the squad, he's shit. So you can't keep flip-flopping like donkeys. You understand? Like, what is this? You didn't want him in the squad in the first place. So chill out. Like, now we're going to see how much Mikel Moreno means to this Arsenal fan base and this squad. Because when players are absent like Havertz and he's meant to be shit, we missed him like hell. And now the same things happened with Mikel Moreno this evening. It didn't look like the way they were talking. I knew it was a broken foot. It was going to be nothing. That was the reality. So we got a day left. Can we get a Ruben Neves or somebody in? Mr. Bobby, let's give us another banger, brother, because this is the time to do it, right? So Arsenal fans in the comments, Arsenal fans around the world, stop crying that Mikel Moreno's injured, because you didn't want him in the team anyway. You want him sold in this transfer window, no? So you've got your wish. Now he's injured for 2-3 months. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we do, eh?
It is a very valid point. Yeah, it is a very valid point. I'll come to you, Echoes of Highbury. Obviously, before you had some technical issues. Hopefully, we can hear you better this time. But obviously, you saw Gyökeres get onto the score sheet. I mean, Neil and Ali have kind of given their take on him starting, him playing, the impact he has. But, I mean, from obviously like a fan who goes to vast majority, if not all of the matches, obviously you do spend a lot of the time with the home fans, the away fans. I mean, how was the Gyökeres and the Jesus goals received? And what is the general kind of opinion amongst the fan base, home and away, with regards to the striker situation and how the two players are performing?
Okay, so I think Gyökeres has improved. He definitely has over the last few games. There is a huge frustration amongst the fan base about his technical ability on the ball, though. He's amazing off the ball. Like when you watch him play, he runs in behind every like 30 seconds. You see him go, and that's all he does all game. Um, the frustration is when he does get on the ball, he tends to lose it a bit too often.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lose it a bit too often, you lose the confidence of your players to give him the ball as well, which we do see in games. A lot of times during games, he's wide open and he won't receive it. If it was a Jesus, if it was a Havertz, I bet you that the players would pass it to him a lot more often. Um, so there is that frustration amongst the fan base. But off the ball, he's great. To me, I'm not personally a huge fan of Gyökeres. I mean, I back him, and the rest of the fan base backs him. Like we chant his song, we support him. But there is a consensus among the fan base that he's not lived up to the expectations of what he was meant to be so far.
Okay.
Um, it's not just that we're not feeding him the right balls, because when we do, he takes a little too long to release that ball. The amount of times we've seen that ball go through and he goes one on one, it's happened about 5 to 7 times this season, and he can't get a shot on target. Like he's fast, but he's not quick. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys understand the difference.
Yeah.
Like his top speed is really really good, but for him to get to that top speed,
Acceleration.
it takes a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he's on the ball, it's that one extra touch that he takes a bit. It's that bit millisecond of hesitation, which he would have gone in Portugal, which he got
Yeah.
against Kairat. But
Yeah.
it's that extra bit. Now, do I think there's a possibility that he turns out to be a really good player for us? Of course, yes, I do think so. But for me, when we signed him, I wanted a player that would go bang right away. I didn't want a project signing. Now I back him, and I do think there's potential in him. But we signed Gyökeres not for potential. We signed Gyökeres to hit the ground running. And to me, he hasn't done that. Do I think he could do that? I'm 50-50. Will I back him? Of course I'll back him, yeah. But there's a unanimous belief or understanding within the fan base that he's not at the level we expected him to be, but everyone still backs him. I don't see anyone hating on him. I don't see anyone, not chanting his songs. So everyone is unanimously supporting him to do well, with also
That's
the
good. That's
understanding
good.
that he's just not there yet.
Okay.
What? Sorry, Bobby. G, Bobby. I'm thinking about the I'm thinking about the
Okay, it's
transfers.
used to
No,
Ali.
I'm doing it.
It's
I'm
used
doing
to
it now.
It's
I got the
contagious.
bag,
It's
brother.
contagious.
Oh,
Yeah.
bruv, I'm getting clipped myself. But yeah, with regards to Gyökeres, Echoes, where do you think he sits in the striker market? So we've got your Mbappe's. There's not many in Haaland. Is he the bracket below? Because I
In my
personally think he's the
opinion,
bracket below, because there's no one else. Who else is out there?
in terms, okay, so how do you want me to look at that? In
You
terms of
got
who's available to
Lewandowski, you
sign?
got Haaland, you got Mbappe, and then the bracket below is your Gyökeres's, your Isak's. Where's Isak? Where are we putting him? This season, he's worse than Gyökeres. So does that make him worse than Gyökeres? The answer is no. But do you know what I'm saying? The market is a bit skewed in terms of where is the quality. So for me, if we're not buying, my personal opinion, before you answer, he's below your Mbappe's and your Haalands and your so on.
Yeah. So I think what
I class Solanke below a Gyökeres, So Solanke's there, Gyökeres's group is here, and then you got your elite up there. That's where I see it. He's not for me. He's not a project signing at all. This is more about, does he fit our style of play? Does he fit our system? Bobby said it before the season began. He said it in December. He said it a few weeks ago. And the reality is, Bobby's right. He was waiting for Havertz, Arteta, for this to work. So let's see 2 games, 2 goals, Havertz and Gyökeres together. Let's see if that can continue. Because if that continues, we're going to end up with what Neil said, Gyökeres on 15, 20 goals in the Prem. And then let's see what he does in Europe. Because I think he's on 7 or 8 goals, Echo, in the Prem, right? So there's 15, 16 games left. If he gets another 7, 8 goals, he's touched 15, 16 goals this season. People need to also remember, Didier Drogba came from Marseille at the same age. He was 27 years old when he went to Stamford Bridge. He scored 10 goals in his first Premier League season. Everyone said he was shit. His first touch was bang average. And it was. And it was. Yeah? And then he went bang in his second season. So if we're going off old history and elite footballers, I'm not saying he's going to be a Drogba, but all I'm saying is Drogba had the same narratives thrown at him in his first season. He's 3 goals off of Drogba's total of Premier League goals coming from Marseille. So once he's gone past that little milestone, then we can obviously look at building his confidence in terms of first touch and letting that shot go, as you've all said. I'm not saying he's Henry. I'm not saying he's R9. I said it the other day, but I think he's a competent striker. I think he's a ruthless finisher. And what he needs to understand in the Premier League is you can't take that extra touch, like Echo said, and you've got to let it go. And he's got the shot to let it go. You don't need to go in an extra 5 yards. Just blast the shot. Because more often than not, he gets those on target when he lets the ball go. Obviously, he done it against Inter Milan. So he's done it against Inter Milan, high quality opposition, top of Serie A, Kyriat, bang average, bottom of the Champions League groups. And now he's gone and done it on the weekend against Leeds, Ellen Road, where Liverpool have drawn, United have dropped points, and Chelsea lost. And they've only lost 2 games there all season, Ellen Road. And we just went and smacked them 4-0, and he should have had a brace.
So I guess my question would be: do you not think our expectations of Gyökeres have dropped though? Because there are times I see our fan base praise him for something that should be so simple to do as a professional footballer playing for Arsenal, like making a run and occupying a defender. Yes, it's something that you do, but are we really gonna praise him and say, that was elite footballing capabilities to make a run and pull a defender away? When he does control a ball and hold up a player, I see our fan base again praising Gyökeres for it. Those are simple, basic footballing abilities that you should have playing for Arsenal. That I think that's where things have changed amongst our fan base. Even in the crowd. The crowd reacts when he keeps the ball and takes down a ball and passes it, as if everyone expects him to lose it. And the fact that he didn't, we react to it as if it's a good thing, which it is. But at the end of the day, I think at least my expectations of him have dropped. When he does end up keeping the ball or playing a good pass, in my head, the default is he's going to lose it. And if he doesn't, well, fair play to him. Now, again, I'm not hating on him, and I don't mean to be negative. It's just
not at all.
there's just no filter, just pure transparency. I don't think he's at that level. In hindsight, what I would have done in the summer, and again, I say in hindsight, it's very easy to do that. I don't think there's any amazing strikers that are available apart from Ekitike. But what I would have done is a stopgap signing with Ollie Watkins and wait for the market to develop next year, the year after. And that would have been my option.
That could have worked.
A couple of things. I think the first thing is, I think personally, transparently, expectations of Gyökeres' season have dropped. I was really excited when we signed him, and I expected him to get 30 goals this season. But I do think there's context to that. I don't think Arteta's tactics, style of play have suited the way he's played. If anything, it's been completely detrimental to his game. Completely. I think you buy a centre forward like Gyökeres and you build a side and a style of play around that player. And we've done anything but that. We've starved him of possession. We've starved him of chances. And I think that's had a massive impact on that. I think the other thing with regards kind of the striker situation, I think Ali was kind of alluding to, is that there is a lack of top quality centre forwards. You know, you do have your Mbappes, you do have your Haalands. And then I think for me personally, Gyökeres is in that bracket, you know, kind of just below. That we could obviously, that was available as well for, you know, an affordable fee, etc., etc. I think the other thing to mention, Echoes, when you said about him being praised for doing some simple, obviously, you know, things that you'd expect of a centre forward. The issue is with that is that nobody was doing it before. You know, we had Kai Havertz, we had Gabriel Jesus, and the amount of times I would watch Arsenal games and I'm like, make a run, get in the box. You know, there were so many occasions where, you know, Jesus was literally not in the penalty area, or Kai Havertz was picking up the ball in the CDM position. You know, so I think you make some really valid points. I think expectations of his season have dropped, but I do think there's context. I think sometimes, and I think also the wave of optimism and maybe slightly overpraise for Gyökeres, I think a lot of the time is to counteract not your narrative, but it's to counteract a lot of the hate that he does get online. Because I know for a fact, I do it. I do it with Saka. I know for a fact the amount of hate that Saka gets from sections of Arsenal fans, believe it or not, but also sections for rivals, is that sometimes I do find myself kind of deliberately, intentionally overdoing the whole kind of praise. And the same things for Gyökeres, because Gyökeres has been absolutely cooked by rival fans. By a large section of Arsenal fans without any context, you know, being applied at all. So I think there is a lot at play here with regards to Gyökeres. I don't think it's as simple as he's come into the Arsenal team and he just hasn't done well. He hasn't done as well as I thought he would, but I'm looking at the style of play. I'm looking at, you know, the chances that he's not had. I'm looking at the fact that, you know, we didn't really have time to kind of bed him in with other injuries. I think there is a lot more to the Gyökeres scenario.
I also think, sorry, with regards to Gyökeres, because I agree with Echoes. I think, you know, I do agree with a lot you said there. But I also think with regards to Victor, I think, you know, also you put him into a Manchester United team, that Manchester United current team at the moment, and you'll see a different player. Because they're not facing a low block in the Premier League week in, week out. You know, and I think, you know, and G, the point you made on Gyökeres, I know we need to move on, but the point you made on Gyökeres as well is there is something to be said about, you know, a striker being starved the ball. You know, and it's just a simple thing. Martinelli comes on, whips a ball in, bang, it's a goal because Gyökeres is there in the box where he should be. The amount of times last season I was throwing my phone against a wall because Jesus is in the build-up play and there's no one in the box. You know, so look, I get it, and I get the frustration of the fans as well, because I'm like you, I expected more this season. Particularly at the beginning of the season, I thought, oh, this guy's going to come, he's going to bang goals in left, right, and centre. But I also don't think we saw the amount of teams playing in a low block against us, even City playing in a low block against us, and also notice how well defended he's been this season as well. How many defenders are sticking two central defenders on him and saying, "Go on, do something now." So I think, but I agree with everything you said.
Yeah,
there's one more thing. There's one more thing I think he needs to improve on, and that would completely change his game. Is he gets manhandled in the Premier League? Like every game I go watch, and you look at Gyökeres, there's arms around him. He's getting shoved. He's getting strangled. He's all of that every single time. He needs to learn how to sell a foul better, because when he drops to the ground, it looks like he's flopping and he doesn't get the foul, but he's not really flopping. He's just hasn't learned how to sell that foul. Now,
Yeah.
when he learns to do that, they're gonna stop grappling him, the defenders,
Yeah.
because they're gonna
Yeah.
they know
Fair
that
point.
they're gonna. And so once he learns how to play the physical contact game in the Premier League, I do think things are gonna change. But right now, I see him getting grappled, and by the time he goes to ground or he's impeded in what he's trying to do, it doesn't necessarily look like a foul. It kind of looks like he's just flopping. I don't know if you guys know what I
Yeah.
mean. And
You
the
know
refs
what?
don't give it. It was so
Yeah.
evident against Leeds and he got nothing. And players are going to keep doing it because they know they're not going to get a foul against them. So I think the physical side of the game, he's got the power, he's got the strength. I just don't think he's learned the mental side of more
Yeah.
than just the mental, like the little techniques around selling a
The
foul in the
dark
Premier League, which
arts.
you shouldn't
Yeah,
have
the
to
dark arts.
do. But the
Mm.
refs are just not really good in this league, to be fair. So
Yeah.
you've got to deceive them as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point, and I think it might be maybe a little bit because we need to move on to the next slide, but it might be a little bit of a reflection of playing in the Portuguese league as opposed to the Premier League. I think those flops that he does probably wins him more free kicks in Portugal than he would in the Premier League. But we're gonna press ahead because obviously we've been online for on stream for 51 minutes and we've got 9 minutes until we're off. So we're gonna quickly run through the starting 11 and obviously rate each player. So I will start with you first, Ali. So Raya in goal. Can you give him a rating out of 7, please, and why? We're going to make this quick and snappy,
Yeah,
lads.
it's just quick fire. 7 out of 10, solid performance, clean sheet, done everything that he needed to do. Let's keep it moving. Quality
Excellent.
goalie, quality keeper. I think that's our 12th clean sheet of the season.
Nice. Neil, are you with us?
I am.
No problem. So Timber, at obviously right backs, rating out of 10.
7. Thought he played a solid game. Thought he kept them quiet, and also a couple of great balls into the box, which he needs to do more. But yeah, 7, solid 7.
Excellent. Echoes of Highbury, you've got Saliba.
I'd just give him an 8. He makes an 8 look very easy, but that's just his standard. Like, no one was getting past him. No one was doing anything against him. He just does what he does, and he did that against Leeds as well. So very, very easy for me, an 8.
No problem. Ali, you've got Gabriel.
Big Gabby. 7 out of 10, solid. Very professional performance by the boys. Started a little bit slow, the boys at the back, the 2 centre-backs, pushing the ball into midfield in the early stages of the game. But yeah, once we settled, got the crowd under control, the boys started to really, at the back, started to dictate physically, defensively, and offensively, giving the balls into midfield. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Great performance. We move.
No problem. Neil, you've got Hincape at left back.
Yeah, again, toss up between a 7 and an 8, to be honest with you. I actually really like him. I think as he grows into the Premier League side, I think he'll do better and better. He's quick, he's fast. I actually have more confidence in him in the left back position than most others because of his pace and his speed, particularly in the Premier League. So yeah, between a 7 and an 8.
Yeah.
Don't think he did much wrong.
No problem.
Which one? You got to give one, as Bobby would say.
I like him. An 8.
Go on then.
No problem. Echoes, you have Zubimendi.
I'll go with an 8 for Zubimendi. Scored the goal. A bit of a change in the tactics yesterday was where Rice was just sweeping and he played a little deeper and just defensive, which is what I think he should be doing anyways, because it allows everyone in front to just go and express themselves. And Zubimendi's good at going forward as well. So I'll give him an 8. Good goal as well.
Nice. Ali, back to you. Rice.
Declan Rice, 7 out of 10. Solid performance. Dominating performance. Typical couple of charging runs from deep in our half to stretch the play and get the boys, the defensive line, up the pitch in the second half. So yeah, man, professional performance, 7 out of 10. Could have potentially had a goal himself if he had let the shot go himself rather than laying it off a few times. But yeah, we move. Solid.
Nice. Neil, you've got Havertz.
7. Again, I don't think he performed any miracles in the game. But again, he is getting us going forward. He's moving the ball. He's looking to be positive all the time. And look, the guy's back from injury, isn't he? A long-term injury. So I think a 7 right now is I think where his performance is at right now.
No problem. Echo, you have Madueke coming in for Saka.
I'll give him an 8. I'm in between an 8 and a 9, but
Oh,
for me, giving a 10 is almost impossible. A 9 means an elite performance, and I think he's just at the 8. He got 2 goal contributions, but I still think there's still more in him. But I'll give him an 8.
No problem. Ali, Trossard.
I think he was solid. I think he was good. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I think he grew into the game. And he was tidy. I think that's the word. Neat and tidy without being exceptional.
No problem. Neil, Gyökeres.
Yeah, I mean, he got the goal. Movement was good again. Positive. I'm not going to give him above a 7, purely because of the chance that I think he should have scored when he ran through on goal. I think he should have hit it quicker. So yeah, 7. Had he hit that and even forced the save, I probably would have gone up to an 8.
No problem. Back to you, Echoes. We've got Odegaard came on in the 61st minute. What did you make of his performance? Obviously, out of 10.
I think he had a much better performance. So I think he did have a chat with Mikel, and he's a bit under pressure. I'll give him a 7. He's my favorite player on the team, so I expect a lot from him. I'll give him a 7. One thing I will say though is that he doesn't seem very.
Ali, no problem. Ali, you've got Martinelli, 61st minute sub as well.
Yeah, just quickly to finish off what Echo was saying, I think Martin Odegaard, he's the type of person, I don't think he's going to throw his toys out the pram if he's been dropped. He must have had a conversation with Mikel, and then obviously he's just taking it on the chin and in a mature manner rather than being immature and ruining the harmony in the dressing room. So that's what we've got with Martin Odegaard, and I don't think that will change going forwards to the end of the season, because I'm sure Martin Odegaard wants to lift that trophy. And even if he does leave in the summer, if he wins a couple of trophies and leaves, he's done his job, hasn't he? Whether it's off the bench or not. Martinelli, quickly, 7 out of 10. I think it was a decent performance. He got an assist for Gyökeres, good ball into the box off his weaker foot. Stretched the play in the final stages. Decent, 7.
No problem. Neil, we've got Calafiori, 76 minutes substitution for the Arsenal.
When he came on, again, he is possibly one of my favourite players in the team. This season, I think he's really, really important to the way we play, and hopefully he comes back fighting fit. But again, small, quick cameo. Again, I'm going to give him a 7 because he's my favourite player. So, yeah.
Love that.
No problem. Echoes, obviously Jesus came on in the 76 minutes, scored an absolute blinder of a finish. What do you give him out of 10?
I'll give him a 7. There's things he can do better as well, but he's had a lot of injuries. It'll take him time to get back, but you can tell that he is someone that you can give him the ball and he'll hold it up and he'll come play. He's just got to be more of a striker than a midfielder. And I don't know what the solution is to that. That's Mikel's job.
No problem.
A 7 for me.
No problem, Echoes. We'll come back to you, Ali. 81st minute sub. Obviously, a lot of Arsenal fans disappointed he didn't get more playing time once again. What did you make of his performance out of 10?
I think he's going to play on Tuesday night. I'll just give him a 6 out of 10. Came on, ticked it over, shake out the legs, get ready for Tuesday.
No problem. Obviously, we're not going to spend too much time, no time at all, actually, on the Leeds performance and the Leeds lineup and player ratings. Now, obviously, I'm going to come to you all because I will need, and this is where we're going to end the stream, but I will need a rating out of 10 for Arteta based on lineup, based on in-game management, style of play, performance, you name it, I want to know about it. Even substitutions, impact of the sub. So overall, I think, Neil, it's your turn. So I'll come to you first, Neil. I'll come to you, Echoes, after, and then we'll finish up with Ali. So, Neil, what did you make of Arteta's performance?
I think he got it right this week. He's been up for a lot of criticism. Hopefully they have had this team meeting. Hopefully he has had a bit of a bollocking from the board. But I think he got it right this week. I'm going to say it. I'll back him when he's right, and I will take the, I'll go in on him when he's wrong. But yeah, for me, I think he gets an 8 out of 10. I think he did well this week.
Excellent. Echoes?
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well because he changed stuff up this week, and we saw a different strategy in game, and we don't usually see him do that. But hats off to him for being able to put that into action and just 4-0. And so I give him an 8.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Ali.
I'll give him a 9 out of 10. I echo what the boys have said. Reason I give him a 9 is because that Odegaard decision is a lot bigger than we all think. In the changing room, the position that Odegaard's got in the team as captain, to take him out for Kai, another one that he likes, is a big thing. And I think that's what's going to happen going forwards. I think Kai's got that 10 shirt. It's up to Kai to lose that shirt. So fingers crossed he stays fit for the rest of the season. I think his in-game management was made easier because when we play faster, when we play this style of football, then the subs look a little bit easier, a bit more relaxed when they come on. Your Martinellis, your Odegaards, because they're playing into space rather than coming on at 0-0, 1-1, 2-1 behind. So yeah, pick the right team, like I keep saying, that's what I've said all season, and win the game. It's as simple as that. We're that good. Pick the right team and win. Havertz has to play in the 10. If he's fit and he's ready to go and he's not in the red zone, as they say these days, he plays 60, 75 minutes, gets us into a winning position 9 times out of 10, and then we can make the in-game subs however Mikel wants to play it, with whether it's Norgard and whoever else.
There goes our host.
I think we lost him. That was the final whistle, I think. No additional time for us today.
Oh, listen, we done that very, very, very well.
Ali, I don't think I can hear you either. I don't know if it's just...
Oh, geez, gone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear Ali, but I can hear you, Neil.
Whoops.
What has happened?
Technical issues. Yes. Oh, there he is. Oh, it's Bobby.
I'm going to have to step in because his hotspot's done.
Oh, man, Bobby.
So I'm going to step back out. Can everyone hear me? I'm going to step back out. I'm going to go round everyone, and then I'm going to just end the stream, okay? Because G's finger's gone, okay? So I'm going to drop out now, and I'm going to go round everyone so everyone can say where they're from. Cheers, thank you.
Oh, it's
guys,
one-on-one now, eh?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Obviously, it's great to talk to everyone. Yeah, make sure you guys are following and liking. And thank you for having me on.
Yep, and then on my end, just thank you for having me on, and hopefully the 3-point come next week, and I'll see you.
Oh, going back to me. There we go.
Yo, yes, thank you, Bobby. Yeah, you can find me on Football Takeover, and you can also find us on X, Twitter, which is X, Instagram, and TikTok on Football TK Over. And also, just to finish, Bobby, G, and I, we will see if we can do a transfer show tomorrow. We'll let you know what time, if at all possible. It is the last day of the transfer window, so we'll see if Arsenal do go into the transfer market and get a loan deal over the line with Mikel Merino being out for a 3 to 6 week period. That's what normally a broken foot is. So let's see what we do with that. But again, I'm sure Bobby's already said it. Appreciate the guests this evening, Neil, Echoes of Highbury, and obviously G, our host, and Bobby in the background. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a lovely evening. And hopefully here at Football Takeover, we will see you tomorrow if we can find the time to do a half an hour, 45-minute stream on the transfer window. Take care. God bless, and see
Thanks,
you all very
guys.
soon.
Bye.